There we go. Okay, so welcome to the live. My name is Lisa. I'm a parenting coach. If you go on my website, it's BratBusters.com. You can get my free behavior board. You can look into my toddler course or my boot camp course or my boot camp course for 3 to 12-year-olds, or you can look into coaching. I do have a big wait list for coaching, but I'll get to that eventually. And then you can also listen to our podcast. It's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and we save it on YouTube. Pretty much everything ends up on YouTube, I think. I'm not sure. My daughter does all that, so I'm not too sure. But yeah, everything turns up on YouTube. All these lives, all of our podcasts turn up on YouTube. So anyway, so let's get going with your questions. I'll do my best to answer them. Just seeing. Okay. I've had a few new clients in the last couple of weeks because I finished up with some clients. I always have to leave some spaces open because returning clients, they always get in right away. So, or, they're first on the list. So, but yeah, I got a few new clients, which I love getting. It's lots of fun. Okay. Just a sec. Just going to look at your questions here. So I've got Allie says, my 2-year-old boy has started hitting himself and screaming when he gets in trouble. Help. Yeah, they're going to try stuff. He's only 2. They're just going to act crazy sometimes. But I will read out my top 5 tips for parenting toddlers, and number 5 will pertain to you. Okay, number 1, child-proof your home so you never have to say no. This is for toddlers. Toddlers to me is 16 to 35 months. Number 2, set up a toy rotation system so they're never bored. Number 3, connect with your toddlers in their world, not your world. Like, you don't go to the nail salon to connect with them. You go to the park and roll down the hill. They just get it. They look at you differently when you connect in their world. And number 4 is similar. You discipline toddlers in their world, okay? It's not about these big therapy sessions discussing all their big feelings and big emotions. They're not listening to you. That's your world, not theirs. They need consistent corrective actions. They're watching you. They're not listening to you. So if they do something naughty, you just say no, and you remove them from the fun, or remove fun from them just for a few minutes or whatever. And then number 5 is stop trying to figure them out. They're not figure outable. They're going to do crazy stuff. They're going to scream and hit themselves and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, you can't figure them out. They're brand new, fresh human beings. They're just forming. They're going to try stuff. If they are getting hurt or hurting themselves, you just have to physically restrain them and just say no. And don't keep talking to them, though. You just hold them and look away. Like, just pretend like you're sort of preoccupied somewhere else. As if you keep giving it attention by looking at them, they're going to keep doing it. Okay, this is Christy. Trying to get my 2-year-old to go to sleep by himself in my bed for now without me having to lay by him until he's asleep. Any tips? Yeah, it has to be in a crib, not in a cot though, or a crib. He has to be in a bed where he can get out of bed. So every time he gets out of bed, you just walk him back to bed, and you just say, the first time you say, I said it's bedtime, stay in bed. So you put him back to bed, kicking and screaming. He'll probably run out after you. That's okay. Don't stay in the room with him. You leave the room, then you go get him. The second time you put him back to bed, you say bedtime. And then every time after that, you just keep walking him back to bed, slowly but surely, walking him back to bed, putting him on his mattress. He doesn't have to be tucked in. You can do that later on when he falls asleep. You're just letting him know that he has to stay in his own bed. You might have to do it 50 or 100 times. Okay, that's why you walk slow, because if you have to do it that many times, you just want to walk really slowly. So yeah, just make it look like you're half asleep. You're not talking to him or looking at him. That's what he's after. He wants your attention. Okay, don't give it to him. Just follow through and keep putting him back to bed. He'll eventually get the hint. Hi, Jojo from Australia. I have a 4.5-year-old who says no one loves her, and it's when she's in a downer mood when she doesn't get what she wants or told not to do something. And it's only since your brother came, who's now 1.5 years old. Yeah, it just sounds to me like they'll say anything to get your attention. So, but they only do what works past the age of about 3.5 to 4. So it must mean it gets to you. So if she says, what does she say? Who says no one loves me? Say, oh, okay. Yeah, don't give it any attention. That's not love she's after. That's trying to get under your skin, trying to get you angry, and trying to manipulate you. That's all it is. Yeah, just say, oh, okay, whatever. You can say I love you other times, but not when she's mad because she didn't get her own way. Nobody loves me. Looking at you. Is that going to get a reaction? I hate you. Is that going to get a reaction? You see, that's all she's doing. Yeah, just don't have any reaction. Okay, this is Erica. Am I supposed to feel defeated at the end of every night raising a 3 and a 2-year-old? LOL, I am beat. They make me feel crazy sometimes. Is that normal? Okay, it doesn't have to be, but it's very common. It doesn't have to be normal, but a lot of parents say that's normal for them. So, and it's interesting because all my clients pretty much talk like that. It's like my kids are driving me nuts. So yeah, it's once you're a leader though, it doesn't have to be that way. But you've got a toddler and they're kind of crazy anyway. And your kids are only 1 year apart. So it's very physical when they've only got 1 year apart. It's very physical. So you kind of set the scene there. So yeah, it can be physically draining having a toddler and a 3-year-old. So, but yeah, it doesn't have to be draining at the end of each day, especially because you got a 3-year-old now getting a little bit older. So just keep watching. I got some ideas here. Oh, so, there we go. There you got support. Summer said, same here. Mine are 10 and 11 now. It's very common. Everyone thinks they're all alone. I think people are very quick to brag about their kids, but not complain. I raised my kids in Australia, and that's where they were born and raised. And they're very into self-deprecating humor there. We used to compete with who's got the worst kids and who was the worst parent. I can remember in the play group, we used to sit around all us moms and say, oh, you won't believe what this kid put me through last night. Oh, what's wrong with them? And we'd laugh. So they weren't bragging at all. It was a really, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. So we're all complaining about it and how difficult it was. Mostly, and I would say the only thing I really struggled with parenting was initially when I had a newborn. I wasn't prepared for that sleepless night stuff. That got to me. That really got to me. I was just in the middle of the night and over and over. And I can remember hearing him, you know how you can hear them start to wake up? And you go, no, stay asleep. And you're trying to get an extra few minutes in, like, oh, trying to get it. And I can just remember that, like, and then it would turn into all out crying. Oh, that I found really difficult. So it's very physically demanding when they're little. Okay. Good question. I get asked this every day. When working on one behavior per week, which is what I do, one behavior per week on the behavior board, how do you manage the other behaviors in the meantime? You don't. Your new leadership is just all encompassed on that behavior board. You're just focused on that one thing at a time. That's sort of like if you took flying lessons and they teach you a few dials and then you say, well, how do I fly the plane? You don't. You're flying the plane when you deal with everything, and we're not there yet. You're just learning a few dials, a few knobs, a few controls. See what I'm saying? Master that one dial, master that new control, which is just that one behavior board. Week 2, you have 2 of them. Week 3, you have 3. Then by week 4, you deal with everything. You just basically go through the same idea, but you just don't have it written down. So if they do something naughty, you follow the same consequences because you've already practiced it for 3 weeks with specific behaviors. The rest of the stuff, do it, suffer through it however you were before. Don't apply those consequences on the boards to anything else though, because it muddies the water. Because you can't have 24-hour media blackout in a behavior board if you've already put it for something else that wasn't on the behavior board. It just wrecks it. It's a slow burn. You're investing in tomorrow. Oh, you got a lot going on, Summer. Okay, you got a chronic illness and no family around, and their dad hasn't helped. Okay. You know what I would do? One of the first things I'd recommend to you is if you're going through something, that sounds like a real challenging thing. I would look for groups, Facebook groups, other moms who are going through similar things, and parents with illness, parents with disabilities, stuff like that, and just to get some support. And then also just keep watching me, the free behavior board. You can look at that. It might help you. Or you can keep listening to the podcast. That might help if you want to buy the courses or if you want to go on the wait list for coaching. There's all sorts of help. Most of what I put out there is free. Coaching is sort of the premium service, so it's not for everybody. But look on support groups. It might help you. What's the best way to get your point across or what you want them to do without having to yell at them for not listening and whatnot? Yeah, you don't want obedient soldiers. You don't want them to do what you want them to do. You want to have boundaries and rules and structures and habits in the household. And if they choose not to follow those things, then you have a consequence. It's sort of like that. You want them to be self-disciplined. You don't want them to be listening to you all the time. There's a difference there. because that's the authority style. That's you don't want obedient soldiers. You want kids who do the right thing, right? Who choose to do the right thing, because they know if they do the wrong thing, you'll come in with a consequence. That's what leadership's all about. Like, you don't want someone telling you what to do all the time, right? Hey, Lisa, pay your bills. Oh, shut up. You don't want that. You want to just learn how to do it yourself. And that's what kids want too. 3-year-old is trying to bite me. I don't react. I just hold him away from me. She then notices and starts to say, I love you. I love you. Do I continue to stay silent? Yeah, it's not an I love you that she's saying. It's like, oh, okay, I can't get attention that way, so I'm kind of regretting it. How about I get it this way? Yeah, she's just in a little bit of a mental frenzy going on there. So yeah, just say no biting. And then say, if she tries to bite you, say, I'll tell you what, that's as good as a bite if you're trying to bite me. Let's go to the board. No biting or trying to bite me. You could put that on the board and then follow through with the consequence. I love you. I love you. Well, I love you too. Anyway, your consequence is da, 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 da. You see? They'll pull out that, I love you. I need a hug. It's when they're mad, they'll try and pull you in somehow, right? So she's just trying to get your attention. That's all. It's like when they're having a tantrum and you're ignoring them, and then they'll say, I need a hug. It's like, is that going to work? Yeah, they'll do anything to pull you in. When they're on the low road like that, you stay on the high road. Don't join them. When they join you on the high road, then you can say, I love you, and cuddle them and hug them. That's great. But when they're on the low road, when they're mad because they're not getting their own way, yeah, you're on the high road. Let them join you up there. Okay, well, this is George. Is that how you pronounce it? Anyway, you have 7-year-old twins. It's hard when feeding comes. It's like a war zone. Keep jumping and no listening. Any recommendations? It just means they don't respect you. There's no structure in the house. Also, do you allow them to eat around the house at all? Like, my kids never ate or drank around the house. They sat at the kitchen table and that was it. It was like, they wouldn't even have known that you could eat or drink around the house. So that's one thing, is that I had very just regimented habits and routines. They didn't think anything of it. There was no war zone because they didn't know that there could be one, right? You want to be 100% consistent. So I would set up a behavior board and I would put down follow mealtime routine. And on that mealtime routine, there's usually, is it 4 things? I haven't talked about this in a while. I think it's 4 things on there. The mealtime routine, you say, that's the rule, follow mealtime routine. Then below you write down mealtime routine and you put it on the dining room table or the kitchen table, put it everywhere so they can see it, right? So you have, anyway, at each kid's place at the table, you have mealtime routine written down. So it usually is come to the table within 5 minutes of being asked to do so. Once you're seated, don't get up, and also put your dishes away before leaving the kitchen. Oh, and no toys or devices at the table. 4 things. There you go. So yeah, and then if they break that rule, there's a consequence. Don't do the consequence till after dinner. Let them break rules all throughout dinner. Then after dinner, let's go to the board. Now let me see now. The rule was follow mealtime routine, and that didn't happen. So here's your consequence. See how calm I am? That's how it's done. Very calm. Oops, why did I do that? All right, I got to get going soon. So I'm just got to look at YouTube. I haven't looked at YouTube yet. Okay, so how do you deal with an 8-year-old that's always acting out in class, yelling, screaming, you name it? Yes, she doesn't do this at home. There's 2 reasons why they act out in class and not at home. Usually they're better at school than they are at home because the teachers are usually better leaders. That's why. More experience, right? And it's a different environment too, especially at 8. There's more social pressure to get along and to not act out because it can be embarrassing to be getting into trouble. So anyway, there's 2 reasons why they tend to act out at school and not at home. One is that something's going on at school that they don't like. That's not usually the reason, by the way. And the second most prevalent reason is that if things are going their way at home, you're catering to them, you make sure that you don't rock the boat, so everything kind of goes their own way at home. And that's not going to happen at school. So that's usually the reason. I could be wrong, but just think about that. Is that the reason? I don't know. And if not, if it is, you're a pleaser parent, and that's no good. You want to set up your leadership skills. You can check out my free behavior board or the course, the boot camp course, and learn how to be a leader. Oh, there's no set answer for this. It's what age do you think kids should be potty trained? There's no set answer. Some kids are potty trained at 2. If they're younger, especially 18 months, they usually or often regress, right? I waited till my kids were 2.5. I think that's a really good age to potty train. I have a whole potty training course within my big courses. So I trained both of my kids my son was 1 day, my daughter was 2 days. No pull-ups, no night diapers, nothing. But I was already a leader, which helps, but it's also it's a system. It's a whole system that I do. And, but 2.5 worked really well. I knew they'd be ready by then, and I didn't want to deal with all the accidents and that, because I knew by 2.5 they could learn how to do it. So, but some kids aren't really trained till they're 3, 4. So yeah, just depends. I think with my potty training system, if it doesn't work, there's usually other stuff that's going on, like you're just out of control in many different ways, or they might have some physical reason. Sometimes their bowels and their bladders don't send the messages as effectively to their brain with some kids. That's what I've heard doctors say. They're just a bit slower to clue into what's going on with their body. So there is no specific answer. Do you think vitamin deficiencies or things like that contribute to the behavior of children? I am not the least bit qualified to discuss that, so I wouldn't have a clue. And even if it did, I wouldn't make any difference in how I parent. I'm still going to be a leader no matter what. So, but yeah, I'm not qualified to discuss anything like that. And here's what's interesting too, is there's a lot of discussion with stuff like that out there, right? And if there's so many different professionals telling you different answers, that means nobody really knows, or else they'd all agree on the same thing, right? So yeah, whenever you see a whole bunch of professionals out there giving you different answers for the same question, then that's a tell. It means no one really knows for sure. Oh, my alarm did go. That means that I wanted to move over to Instagram, because I'm on Facebook and YouTube. Whenever I do a live, I'm on YouTube the whole time, and I hop from Facebook to Instagram to TikTok. Okay, so if you want to join me on Instagram, it's BratBusters Parenting. If not, you can check out my website. It's BratBusters.com. And you can see my free behavior board, my boot camp course for toddlers, my boot camp course for 3 to 12-year-olds, or you can look into coaching if you want to work with me one-on-one. There's a wait list for that, but I'll get to it eventually. Or you can listen to our podcast. It's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and we save it on YouTube if you want to watch us. My daughter and I work together, and we do the podcast together. So it's the only time we actually ever work together. So it's a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm hopping over to Instagram now, and I'll be staying on YouTube. Happy parenting. I think my phone needs a new battery. It's running out a lot quicker. It's one of the reasons I have to keep these lives kind of short. Okay, this is YouTube while I'm waiting for Instagram. Hello, do your toddler and kid courses cover and explore a range of different behavioral manifestations? For example, a kid that might lie. Oh gosh, yes, I go into all that. How do you suggest and deal with stuff not consequence? The deal with stuff not consequence. I don't know, the course kind of goes over. I think it's pretty comprehensive. So yeah, all different stuff. All different stuff. Okay, I got enough people on Instagram here. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Lisa. I'm a parenting coach. If you go on my website, it's BratBusters.com. You can get my free behavior board. You can look into my boot camp course for toddlers, my boot camp course for 3 to 12-year-olds, or you can get on my wait list for coaching if you want to work with me one-on-one. And if you don't want to do any of that, you can listen to the podcast. It's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and we save it on YouTube if you want to watch it. My daughter and I do it together. She does all of the planning and marketing for the business. So I never know what we're going to be talking about. I don't like planning anything. I don't work that way. I don't operate very well that way. So she just tells me right as soon as we start the podcast what we're going to be talking about. And that's it. Okay. Do you go over how to handle special needs like autism and apraxia of speech? It comes up in coaching. Okay. And it's in the special needs department. And I'm not qualified to discuss those particular things, but I certainly discuss parenting around anything like that, anything. So I teach parent-child relationships. That's all I teach. So it really doesn't matter what's going on, right? But a lot of my clients have kids with special needs and challenges. That's all in coaching. I can't generalize with that. It's one-on-one coaching. Are you on Spotify? I'm sure we are. Yeah, we must be. I don't do any of that. My daughter does it. Yeah, Spotify. Pretty sure we are. We must be. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, my daughter does all that. I want to make it very clear. She does not work for me. We work together. There's no crossover in our jobs and even the podcast, she does all the planning and the hosting basically. And then I just answer her. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Katie. Spotify. Hello from Melty PG. Melty PG. Prince George. Melty PG. What's PG? It's not Prince George. What is it? Papua New Guinea? No, that's right. Papua New Guinea, Prince. It couldn't be that. Okay, sorry about that. I'm pretty ignorant about the world. Oh, someone asked me about, are you familiar with a book? I've never read a book on kids or parenting because everything I've learned through kids and teenagers, right? So yeah, I'm self-taught. So no, I would never read a book on. The only thing I would do if I opened up a book on parenting, I'm sure I would go like this. What the heck? What are you talking about? Oh, why would I? Oh, Prince George. Oh, there you go. Okay. Prince George. So it was PG. Oh, melty. Oh, I get it. It's melting, right? Jeez. God, I'm stupid. Okay. Because I knew it was I should have known. That's funny. Yeah, the book. Yeah, we don't have a book. The thing that we have that's closest to a book was we did 7 podcasts in 7 days, and it's all the basic information on BratBusters, like all the basic stuff that you ask about. And that's on YouTube. If you go in the playlist on YouTube for BratBusters Parenting, it's the 7 podcasts. That's the closest that we have to a book. I'll be honest, we just don't have time. We're super busy. And we can't outsource what we do because most of what we do is decision making. Right now, the business really only took off, I would say, a couple of years ago. Like, it's just overwhelming. And it all started on TikTok, blew up overnight. And so now my daughter's on board, and it's just, we make a lot of decisions. But she said we can't do the book yet. We don't have time for that. She does all the planning. We're very careful because we want to continue doing what we do well. A lot of people chase the money, chase the dollar. What I mean by that is we get offered a lot of money to do a book with publishing companies and stuff like that. But if you're always chasing the money, then you become a money-making business rather than the caring field, which is what we are, right? So we got to be very careful about this. We want to stay true to you guys and make sure that you get the best that we have rather than doing everything that comes our way. And the book is we just don't have time. I would love to do one day, though. You see that all the time, with business, and I'll just talk about this for a second, that you'll see them get big fast. Next thing you know, they're sponsored by everyone. They've got ads everywhere. And you just I sort of feel like I'm being betrayed because they came on, they're helping me, and they're, and then next thing you know, it's all, oh, and buy this and buy that. And they're wearing t-shirts from this. I just feel like I'm being betrayed. I can't explain it. Not to say we won't ever have sponsors, but you get where I'm coming with that. Like, I'm in the caring field. I would feel kind of gross just doing all that stuff. And I don't know. I was just thinking out loud with that. Hello from Washington, your neighbor. I'm up here in Vancouver, Canada. Okay, this is Baxter. My 4-year-old is so feisty. Everything we say is met with a no and big attitude. She seems to always want to do the opposite of what she knows she should do. Okay, well, past the age of 3.5 to 4, they only do what works. It must bug you, so that's why she's doing it. So stay calm, start with my free behavior board, and just start on 1 behavior per week. It'll explain how you do all this. But yeah, she's just playing you like a fiddle. It's bugging you. So yeah, she's playing you like a fiddle. She's loving it. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Stephen. But that's what coaching is. Coaching is one-on-one. That's my favorite thing to do in my business. Oh God, I love coaching because I'm mothering. I love mothering. I don't get to do it anymore. I've got a granddaughter. I have her 1 day a week, which is wonderful. But other than that, and I'm not her mother, but you know what I mean. It's still that maternal stuff. But my clients are like my kids. I freaking love it. Absolutely love my clients. So that is where I do the one-on-one stuff. And we've got stuff, we're planning stuff, but like I said, we've got to be very careful because we have to make sure, because we did get really busy and I didn't do lives for quite some time. I sometimes would go a week or two without doing a live, whereas I was doing them every single day for a couple of years there. And then we just got so busy that I, could hardly even had time to do lives. And I thought, well, that's part of what we do is the free lives, So yeah, you got to be careful when when you're in business. You got to be careful that you can keep up, and do what you're meant to do. You got to stay on track. What would you do when you were having a hard day with kids running around? You still got to be consistent, but once you're a leader, everything's easy. Maintaining leadership is a piece of cake. Getting there is really hard work. You got to work to get there. It's short-term pain for long-term gain. Remember, we're always investing in tomorrow. Okay. But once you're there, it's easy. So, but you got to work. It's work up front, but then you've invested in this leadership yourself. You've learned how to be a leader. The kids feel respected. You feel respected. Everything gets easier. Like the way I parented is not what I teach. I was a leader from day one. I'm teaching you how to get leadership, how to get respect. I already had it from day one, right? So I don't teach you what I did. Like our lives with my kids were full of exceptions. Like if their bedtime was 8 o'clock, they might say, hey, can we stay up later and watch a show that's on? I would have said, sure. The difference is if I said no, they would have gone to bed with no argument because there was respect there. Okay. So that's where you want to go, but you got to get there first. That doesn't happen overnight. You gotta work for it. And when I was working with kids, and I was always working with behavioral challenged children or teenagers, I worked my butt off to get their respect. I never expected to get it. I never had that entitlement. When I walked in the room as their mentor, you'll respect me. I thought I'm going to work my butt off to get it, and I did. So yeah, you got to work for it. Yeah, thanks, Stephen. It's a balancing act. You got to figure it out. It's quite overwhelming when, BratBusters blew up fast overnight. And that's why my daughter had to come on board. And then we've been very careful. Our goal is you. Okay. Our goal is that, because I really believe in what I'm teaching. And I really do. This is my legacy. I've been talking about this for my whole life. I love this leadership stuff. So my goal is to reach as many people as possible, not to make as much money as possible. There's a big difference, right? So yeah, I want to reach as many people, and you do that by throwing your information out there to as many people as possible. I mean, you got to put food on the table, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not a very good business person at all. I love what I do, and money and business, I find it vile. I hate talking about it. I just hate it. Yeah, because it kind of feels dirty when I'm talking. I'm in the caring field and I make money. Like it just feels dirty. But in order to do this all the time, in order to spread the news, you got to make money. It's just one of those things. It's not comfortable sometimes, though. Okay. Well, I was reading this long question, but I thought it was going to be a question at the end. It was just saying you're having a really rough day. I don't know what's going on. So, okay. I like this one. This one's Emma Jean. It's an easy answer on YouTube. How do you handle a toddler who keeps repeating questions over and over, even if you've answered them? Try to ignore, but they repeat until screaming and we tell them to stop. I love your podcast. Thanks for your support. Anyway, so can I have ice cream? No, we're not going to have ice cream right now. Blah, blah, blah. Can I have ice cream? Can I have ice cream? This is what I look like. If a kid keeps asking me that, I will look over at them and I'll acknowledge they're asking again like this. And I'll say, I said no. And then, so I will say, I said no. I'll say that once, like as if I said no, like as if it's already done. They're going to keep coming at you, right? So the next time they say it, I go like this: beautiful day out, eh? Do you want to read a book? I'm going to control the conversation from now on. I'm going to keep changing the subject. I'm going to be in control. I'm going to lead the way. I'm not going to let them do it. Can I have ice cream? Can I have ice cream? Beautiful day. Oh, how about reading a book? Oh, the fox jumped over you see how I'm controlling the narrative. They'll eventually clue in. They will stop asking once you're changing the subject after a while. They'll clue into that you can't be manipulated. You've already answered. Oh, thanks. That's Joanna Sampson from Greece. Oh, thanks for that. That's sweet. Oh, and love to, and Amy. I don't see any negative comments out there, but because I don't see comments. And sometimes we'll read out, not everyone likes us. Sometimes we'll sit and laugh over all these some people say horrible things about us. And it gets under my daughter's skin sometimes because it doesn't, I think it's funny. If you've been watching me for a while, I love that stuff. I always think, imagine if you see someone online that you hate, rather than just moving on, you take the time to let them know you hate them, like I care. I find that fascinating. It just fascinates me. How important do you think your comment is to me? Like the hateful comments. I don't expect everyone to like me. I'm okay with that. I think she doesn't like it because she doesn't like hearing people say nasty things about her mom. But I know where it's coming from, right? So, but yeah, we get lots of the other stuff too out there, which, if you've been watching me for a while, I love that stuff. I'll tell you a funny story. Talk about karma. I love stuff like this. I love fairness. I'm a very fair person. I follow rules. I like everything to be just and fair. I'm a justice fighter. So when I first went on TikTok, I just started. My daughter said for a whole year, Mom, you got to go on TikTok. I had virtually no social media following at all. I've been running this business for 20 years, and most of that was a struggle. It was like mainstream TV and radio I was doing. And anyway, it was just awful. So anyway, she said, Mom, go on TikTok. So about a year after her telling me this, she was working somewhere else in that corporate stuff. And so finally, I just went in my bathroom and started talking in the mirror to myself. My phone was just holding it. I just started talking about parenting. Blew up overnight. Like literally within 6 months, I think I had 600,000 followers in 6 months, which is unbelievable. And this was not because of viral videos. It was just organically happening. It was growing. Well, I guess competition saw that happening, started bad-mouthing me, doing duet videos with me and just trashing me. They saw me as a threat, right? Because I'm different. I came in, anyway, it's a good story. So anyway, I was doing lives and I knew what was happening. They were growing my audience. Because what was happening was on their channel, they would be trashing me. Well, people thought, well, who is this woman? Then they would come over, and every time they did a duet trashing video, my viewership, my followers would go up by about 10,000 people each time they did one. So I didn't see this. My daughter is the one who does all that. She was looking at it behind the scenes. So I went on a live once and I said, I just want to thank my competition. I said, for all your hateful duet videos for growing my channel. They all stopped overnight. Talk about, and they're in the caring field and they're on there saying horrible things about me. I never said a word about any of them. I just thanked them for helping grow my following. But that's justice, If you go out there and if you have, I always told my kids this. I said, just be yourself. Never try and please anyone. Just say what you believe in. If you know you're a good person, it'll pay off down the road. And keep your nose out of what everyone else is doing. They're all doing the best they can, right? But anyway, I thought that was really funny. That hateful stuff stopped overnight. All my competition shut up real fast. So there's room for all of us. We're all different. That's okay. There's room for all of us. Okay, very good. I like this. Hannah says, please act out how you would react. I like it when you say please act out because it's the body language, the tone of voice, and the facial expressions. It's very hard to tell people how to do that, so I'll show you. So please act out how you would react to a 5-year-old screaming and crying at soccer practice. Okay, well, I'm going to show you something funny, first of all. When my daughter was She was 3 years old and I first put her in ballet because she was a mummy's girl. She was like Velcro. So I thought I've got to unvelcro her, right? So anyway, I put her in this ballet class. Now I'm 20 feet away, sitting in chairs in the same room with all the other mums, and they're tiny little girls. They're all 3. So we're right there. We're right there in the same room. So she was all upset. She just wanted to be with mom, and she was starting to cry, and she looked over at me, and this is what she saw. Like, you're all right. It's exactly what my mother would have been like. Like, my mother always had her finger like this. She would have been like, you're all right. And my daughter went like this. Oh, and then she had fun in the class, right? But it's that, don't react to it, okay? But if he's screaming and crying, so if it's at soccer practice, he's screaming and crying, I would give that a go. I would just say, you're all right. But why is he screaming and crying? Is he upset? Like, is it he's sad? Does he miss you, or is he misbehaving? It's a little bit of a difference. I might take him away for 5 minutes. I might go and pull him away and say, I'll tell you what, let's go sit over here for 5 minutes. He's going to be kicking and screaming probably. So you pull him out of the game. Now you don't talk to him. You just wait for 5 minutes. You're just a timekeeper. Look at the other boys practicing or the girls practicing. You just look over there. Oh, that was good. That was good. Ding, ding, ding. 5 minutes is up. Okay, go back in. Okay, and give it another go. So let them know you're not going to react to that, because it's your reaction they're often after. My kids never got one from me. I never got one from my mom, and we survived. I survived. They survived. Okay, it's your reaction they're often after, but you might pull them out for 5 minutes. See how that goes. But yeah, it's that, yeah, you're all right. You'll survive. Kind of like that attitude. Don't try and talk him through it. Don't try and talk him off that cliff that he's on, that emotional cliff. Big mistake, because all you're doing is feeding it. All that attention. Well, you're okay, because see the other boys, they're having fun. And disaster. You're all right. Okay, sit here for 5 minutes. No, what's he doing over there? You see how it's no big deal. No big deal. I'm simplifying it. There could be other factors, but that's what I'm going with. Okay, this is a good question on YouTube. What do you do when your spouse is not on the same page? Cut a deal. Say, you know what? We're going to flip a coin and decide whose parenting method we're going to go with. But we got to study it and decide we're going to commit to it. That's the rule. So I'm going to pick BratBusters, let's say. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to study it, listen to her. I've got a plan here. For 3 weeks, we're going to go with this, or we're going to go with yours. We're going to flip a coin and see. And then whichever one works, we're going to go with. So let him have 3 weeks of his method, but he has to be committed to a method. You can't just say, I don't want to do it. He has to have his own. Well, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to have a method, then we're going to go with mine. You can't just argue that you don't want to do something if you haven't got a better idea. Like, I don't like it when people just criticize you with no better idea. Oh, I don't like that idea. Okay, well, what's a better one? Oh, I don't have one. Well, then shut up. What's the point? Okay, so yeah, just say, well, what's your idea then? If you don't like this, we're not on the same page. What's your plan? What's your plan? Chances are he won't have one. So say, okay, we'll go with mine. We'll try it for 3 weeks. If it doesn't work, then we'll do whatever you want and see if that works. Then after those 6 weeks, then we'll come up with something else. But we have to agree on something. Yeah, if he's not willing to write up a plan, he has no right to criticize your parenting. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, my alarm is just about to go. So I've got to hop over to TikTok now. If you want to join me over there, it's BratBusters.com. If not, it's not BratBusters.com. It's BratBusters Parenting on TikTok. If you don't want to do that, then you check out BratBusters.com, my website. You can see my free behavior board, my boot camp course for toddlers, my boot camp course for 3 to 12-year-olds, or you can look into coaching if you want to work with me one-on-one, or you can listen to the podcast, and that's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and I save it on YouTube. My daughter saves it on YouTube if you want to watch us do it. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I'm hopping over to TikTok now, and I'm on YouTube the whole time. Happy parenting. I'm just not a night person. I can feel myself getting sleepy, and I've still got a good 2 hours of work to go. I love doing lives, so. Oftentimes, if I'm not in a work mood at night, I'll do a live and then I'll get back into work again, just because lives get me going. Oh, you're asking me about teaching? It's not my thing. I teach parenting. I don't know a thing about teaching. Parenting's different. A lot of my clients are teachers, principals, and child psychologists. I couldn't do your jobs, and they struggle with parenting. So it's a different thing. And even when I was working with kids, I was a mentor, like a sort of a pseudo mom. I mothered them, and it was always one-on-one, not groups. Okay, just waiting for people to turn up here on TikTok. I'm trying to get off of TikTok. It's addictive. Like, what I mean is I'm trying not to watch it as much. Oh, God. So once I start, it's like just like a drug. Boy, do they know what you want to watch. It's like okay, I'll look at one more and then I'll laugh, something funny, like some people falling downstairs or something. It gets me laughing. Unless they're hurt, obviously. I can't watch the falling videos if they're really hurt. It's only when they're going downstairs on their butt like that in the ice. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to introduce myself, then we'll get going with your questions, and I throw a bunch of other stuff in there too. Okay, so my name's Lisa. I'm a parenting coach. If you go to my website, it's BratBusters.com. You can get my free behavior board, or you can look at my bootcamp course for toddlers, my bootcamp course for 3 to 12-year-olds, or you can get on the wait list for coaching if you want to work with me one-on-one, or you can listen to our podcast. It's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and we save it on YouTube if you want to watch us do it. My daughter and I work together, and we do the podcast together. It's the only time our jobs cross is in the podcast. Otherwise, we never work together. She does all the marketing, all the planning, and it's funny. I don't like it when she listens on here because I say so many stupid things. So sometimes she'll pop into a live just to see what stupid thing I'm saying. Like one day I said, oh, we don't put any videos on YouTube. We just put the live and the podcast. She goes, Mom, all the videos are on YouTube. I don't know what's going on. I'm really not sure what she does. Oh, someone said your hair is so pretty and wavy. I usually straighten it and I just let it go. So, if you've got curly hair, you want straight hair. If you've got straight hair, you want curly hair. So you can't win, right? But thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm Canadian and Australian. And I'm here in Canada right now. So my kids were born and raised in Australia, and they're also dual citizens. My daughter has straight hair. She has blonde straight hair, and she's always curling hers, and I'm always straightening mine. Isn't that typical? I'll tell you the problem with curly hair is you never know how you're going to look. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's all over the place. When you got straight hair, you know how you're going to look. It's predictable. Do you think Canadian food is better than American? I'm not qualified to discuss that. Plus, I'm a gluten-free health food vegan. Yeah, I eat weird. So I'm not pro-vegan or anything. I just happen to be vegan. But yeah, I am no judge of food. I'm not a foodie at all. I love eating, but I'm not a foodie. I eat really weird. So, and I've lived in Australia for 20 years, and I was born in Canada and spent most of my life here in Canada. And what I learned about the world, and now I coach people all over the world, literally all over the world, countries that I never heard of. And we're all the same. We're all, our cultures are different in a lot of ways. We all want to feel heard, understood, and loved. And we all want connection with people. So, and all parents kind of want the same thing with their kids. So yeah, we're all kind of the same. That's what I've learned. But I must admit, it's kind of hard when I've got people with different cultures where they're living in multi-generational homes. They can't say no to the grandparents, like they won't. They say, well, you can't say no to your parents, the elders. So, and if the elders are nagging, the parents are taking charge. So I have to work with, and I respect that. I have to work with all that, which is fascinating. It's not better or worse. It's just different, right? Okay, I'm just going to read this out, but I don't know what's going on. This is Jane, 17-month-old, not talking, but makes eye contact, does do gibberish kind of in a long sentence. Thoughts? Some kids don't talk till they're 3. If you're really concerned that they're delayed speech or something, which is usually not at all attached to cognitive ability, that's the norm, is that it's not. So yeah, but if you're concerned, so a lot of kids don't talk till they're 3. So I knew someone who didn't talk or walk till they were 3, literally didn't. And then the mother used to tell the story and said, well, when she finally got up and started talking, she ran and never shut up. So she was just waiting. So, there's no absolute, this is the way it has to go. This is, what do they call that when there's those, I always forget the name of that, when there's certain things that they should hit, these milestones that they should hit. They're a suggestion. They're not necessarily law. Okay. So I wouldn't worry too much, but if you are worried, go to a professional, and ask their advice. But it's very common for that age to not talk. Okay. Oh, I'm glad. Thanks, Leslie. I'm happy about that. I'm glad. She just said that I've been helpful in her journey. So with her 2-year-old, excellent. So here we go. Martha said, mine didn't talk until she was 3, and I was worried, but she talks a lot now. LOL. It's very common, Most kids start to talk around 2, but some don't. And some talk a lot earlier. My granddaughter was talking really early. So was her dad. Her dad came out of the womb talking. Oh, hello, mother. Nice to meet you. I mean, he was just talking really early. So they're all different, right? Oh, this is a good question. I don't have a sort of can answer it. I'm a babysitter and have enjoyed your videos. Do they relate the same to childcare workers as parents? No, all those roles are different. I only teach parenting. I only set the parents up as leaders. No one else is really a leader, or not the main leader role. So I only talk about parenting. Everything else is different. I spent years babysitting and volunteering with kids as a mentor, doing all that. But I always was kind of mothering them in a way. That's where I learned most of this. But it is different. So I don't teach babysitting or anything. That's not, I only teach parenting. But a lot of stuff you can take and, take what you need and throw the rest away, right? Like a lot of stuff doesn't cross over, but some stuff does. Like a really good example of that is like in classrooms, a behavior board for good behavior, or a reward chart for good behavior is a really good idea in a classroom. Total disaster at home, disaster. So it works beautifully in class. It's a business. School is a business, right? It's not personal. So, and all the kids are on it. So it's especially not personal. You got 30 kids on that board. But at home, if you have a reward chart for good behavior, so if you're good all day, you'll get a gold star. You're basically calling your child rotten. You're normally rotten, but if you should happen to be good, you'll get a gold star. You're treating the good behavior as the exception, you see? Whereas I treat bad behavior as the exception. That's the mentality I go with it at. Like you say, the behavior board says you're normally great, but if you should happen to do something rotten, well, there'll be a consequence. You see that? You see the difference? What do you do when your kid says they're dumb when they get in trouble? They're working you. They get in trouble. They're mad now. They go, I'm just dumb. Nobody loves me. Oh, I hate me. You see, they're just saying, they're going for a reaction. So just say, oh, whatever. Anyway, here's your consequence, right? If they say it when they're not in trouble, then I might discuss it, but not when they're in trouble. They're going to say anything to pull you in, make you feel sorry for them, apologize. No, you're not down to, and they've just won. They've dragged you into that. They've changed the subject. They've controlled you, and they know it. Nobody loves me. See, they're just testing. How am I going to drag them into this? Like, I hate you. Did that work? Yep, they're upset. Here we go. I won. Okay, what would your reaction be to a 3-year-old name calling and saying, shut up? Okay, I would say on the behavior board, no name calling. That's all I would say. No name calling. And I might say, or no bad words. Like shut up is a bad word. So no name calling or bad words. It's the only thing that they say that I would put on a behavior board. Like I never put attitude on there because there's no point. Don't get me started on that. Anyway, absolutely no point. But name calling and bad words, you can put that on a behavior board. So no name calling and bad words. And then if they say shut up, you just say, oh, let's go to the board, walk over to the board. Let me see now. The rule was no name calling or bad words, and shut up is a bad word. So your consequence is da, 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 da. Just follow through. Calm as anything. No anger. If you show anger, frustration, or disappointment, you're not a leader. Do you have a sample behavior board to show us? I used to. I don't find it's of any benefit, so I don't have props anymore. But yeah, I used to do that. But it's just, you do it however you want. It's not a big poster board. You just put rules and then consequences for every member of the family. I've got lots of, like, it's a sample. It's two video courses. They're mini courses on the free behavior board. There's one for 3 and above on the behavior board. Then the toddlers section is also a mini course. They're all video and everything. So they explain it all. And there's little drawings on there and everything. So yeah, go on the free behavior board. So it's 2 little mini courses, one for toddlers, one for older kids. They don't start the behavior board till they're 3. That's why I threw a toddler section in there. So yeah, just check that out. Tips for staying calm. The bane of my business is when people ask me that. Do you know why? I can't help you with that. That's like if you go to a diet center and then you say, how do I not eat the chocolate cake in my fridge? That is your challenge. That is what this is all about. Staying calm is your challenge. I can't help you with that. Your emotions are your responsibility. Only you can control them. I don't have any tips. We're all different. Maybe meditation. One client said, oh, alcohol. I don't recommend that, but you get where I'm going. Everyone's different. So that is the hard part. If it was easy, no one would even be following me if parenting was easy, right? If staying calm was easy. That's the hard part. So I don't have any tips. Everyone's different. Whatever calms you down, meditation, classical music, whatever. The thing is, once you see how well this works, it gets easier. Like someone said, what calms you down? Oh, easy. Working out. Yeah, I've always been into fitness. It's like meditation for me. I was just saying to my daughter, I never talk to anyone at the gym. One of the reasons is a lot of people there know who I am. They've already talked to me. It's just awkward. I always feel like I'm naked when I'm there because people see they've got such access to me on this, and then I don't know anything about them. So it's kind of awkward. So I never talk to anyone at the gym, ever. Like, it's very rare that I talk to someone at the gym. I'm in my own zone. It's almost like meditation for me. I'm there to work out. I got my music going. So that is my meditation, is the gym. Plus, I'll be honest, I don't really have a temper. I'm not a high temper person. I'm a very emotional person, but I don't have a lot of anger in me. I'm a talker outer. Like if anything happens with someone, I talk it out. I'm not one to get angry. So that makes it easier for me. But doesn't mean I don't get frustrated at times, but oh, someone said something snotty. I'm assuming it's a kid on here, so. So I don't get enough of that anymore. I love that stuff. I do. So. Because if you throw something negative out there, it just says you don't like yourself. Like, it's real. If you feel good about yourself, you can't be mean. It's impossible. So yeah, it just means you don't like yourself, but it always makes me giggle. Okay, how can I help my kid be more confident? Self-esteem and confidence are 2 different things. I aim for self-esteem. When you're a leader, you bring out the best in them. Okay, your leadership is what brings out the best in them, which increases their self-esteem. Confidence, it sort of sounds like it is the same, but it isn't. It isn't. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. Confidence is your ability to put yourself out there in the world. Okay, like confidence would be you can get up on stage and do theater work or whatever. That's confidence. But a lot of people who can do that have very low self-esteem. So you can still hate yourself and have a lot of confidence, right? And they often do go together, high self-esteem and confidence, but they often don't too. So work on the self-esteem. Your leadership is what will guide them into doing better, feeling better about themselves. Their self-esteem will go up, right? So work on that. And if you want them to be more confident, so their self-esteem sorted out, but you want them to be more confident, just expose them to as much as possible. Throw them into as many activities as possible. Also, let's say that they are really shy, and if you want to put them into dance or something, I would, okay, it's a little bit hard to explain here, but if they're shy at school and everything, and I want to get them involved in an extracurricular activity, I would take them outside of our zone. Do you know why? Because if you involve them in, let's say, soccer in your area, it's going to be all the same kids. Their identity is the shy kid, and all those popular kids who already have all these friends, it's going to be all the same kids. Put them in a different area. Okay, then they can start fresh, sort of. And then they'll build confidence with new kids, hopefully. And then they'll be able to come back with more confidence to their school too. Does that make sense? I don't understand this. When I give a consequence to one kid, the second kid, always the younger one, pleads to take the consequence away from the first one. So they're not the parent. Why are you listening to that? Say, well, I'm the parent, not you, and then just ignore it. Is that what's going on? They're just, yeah, I don't know. Do you bring faith, religion into your teachings? No, not at all. No, it has nothing to do with this. Nothing. A lot of my clients have a lot of faith and religion, and huge portion of my clients are Jewish. Huge portion. I found out rabbis are talking about me because I thought, why am I so many Jewish clients? I've learned a lot about the Jewish religion. Yeah, a lot of them are Jewish, but we don't discuss religion. Yeah, I don't teach that. No. But I got clients all over the world. Some of them are very, very devout in different religions, and it's fascinating, you know. So, and it's sort of like, I don't have opinion. It's an opinion, all that stuff. It's a personal choice. And I don't have opinions on religion, homeschooling, breastfeeding till they're 5, co-sleeping. Those are all personal opinions and views, and you do what you do, right? Okay, actually, I'm going to get going because I've got so much work to do tonight. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. Check out my website. It's BratBusters.com. You can get my free behavior board, my boot camp course for toddlers, my boot camp course for 3 to 12-year-olds, or you can get on my wait list for coaching. Or if you want to check out our podcast, it's called BratBusters Parenting Podcast. It's on all the platforms, and we save it on YouTube. Whenever I do a live, I'm trying to do a lot more of them. I did that every single day for a couple of years there, and I'm getting back into it. I love doing these lives. But whenever I do a live, I'm on YouTube the whole time, which is where I save these lives. So if you want to watch it, that's where it is. And also, what else am I going to say about that? Oh, yeah. Then I hop from Facebook to Instagram to TikTok. So I go from my smallest platform up to my largest. So that's how I do it if you're interested. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. Happy parenting.